say, man, it's the Hood CNN with your favorite Hood reporter, the Prime Minister of Hood Education, Dr. Monroe, because I got a PhD in common sense, and I'm a five-star general. I want to say top of the morning to you. Just finished the morning show with Rodney Bingham. It was off the chain as usual. So if you don't have the app downloaded, then there's no way that you can actually watch the show. I want to come because people want me to speak on the HISD situation with Dr. Grenita Latham. So I'm going to speak on it. I'm going to tell you the real and what I see, what I know, and it is what it is. The superintendent search that these people want to do is nothing but a sham to cover up their racist ideologies. And bottom line is, you're going to have some Latino people say, oh, it's not racism. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let's talk about it. Yes, it is. See, the thing is HISD biggest population of children is the Latino community. I don't have a problem with that. I love Latino kids just like I love black kids. I love kids. Don't matter to me, white kids, whatever. But the Latino community feels entitled. They always want what they want. Now, in Houston, you have a Latino 5G. You got a Latino police chief. Got a Latino over the Port of Houston. And you had a Latino superintendent 2.5 years ago until certain board members ran him off. And then he left in the middle of the night. So now you have this woman, African American, Dr. Grenita Latham, sitting in the interim position for 2 years and 8 months. And you feel that she is not qualified. There's somebody out there more qualified than her. Well, who is it? Because with all the foolishness that y'all have going on, the racism that you have going on, nobody with a sane mind is going to take that job. I don't care what that job pays. You're under threat of being taken over by the Texas Education Agency. You have a lot of investigations going on, federal investigations with the FBI. And you want to use Dr. Grenita Latham to get you through this pandemic like she's gotten you through 2 hurricanes and a flood and all that stuff there. She was good enough to do that, but she's not good enough to be the superintendent. It's racism because if you go back to 2018, let's go back to 2018. August of 2018, I wrote an article in African American News and Issues called La Familia. And what I did is I showed the connection between the Latino board members that were on the board, the school board, as well as local and state politics. I called out these school board members for their racist activities. I said that they were going to attack Dr. Grenita Latham. So 2 months later, in the middle of an open board meeting, the same Latino trustees that I called out sat there and fired this woman in the middle of a school board meeting and tried to install a superintendent that left, with a cloud over his head, with corruption and monetary issues. Fired a bunch of black teachers mysteriously. It was what it was, but you were willing to bring him back. He had already failed. You paid him to go away. You fired him and then paid him to go away. You see what I'm saying? You fired him and paid him to go away. And then you want to bring him back because you just didn't want the black woman in the seat. Well, 3 days after you fired her, you had to put her back in because the African American community, along with African American elected officials, stood up and said, this is not going to happen. So 2 years, 8 months later, you're doing it again. Now, people want to say, well, Grenita's this, she's that. She's the reason that teachers ain't making money. Now, the reason that y'all ain't making enough money is straight up that you don't want these people to raise your taxes, your property taxes, so they can't generate the money that they want to generate, on top of the fact that the state of Texas is not properly funding schools. Let's get that straight. Now, I don't agree with paying upper level administrators a whole bunch of money over teachers. Never gonna agree to that, because I think a first year teacher should make no less than $62,000. That's the way I feel about it. They should make no less than $62,000. And with that being said, it is what it is. So, I had somebody come on my page and try to act like it's not racist, and yes, it is, man. You want to act like all these people been stealing money and all that. Well, hold on a second. I'm the one that exposed procurement when Deanna Davila was on the board after she had got caught. In 2012, she come back. So a couple of years ago, I exposed a contract where this woman and her husband and her brother were squeezing contractors out of money. Nothing else had come up. Nobody said nothing about it. Nobody said anything about it. And that's crazy, because as soon as a black person get caught up, you want to scream bloody murder. Dr. Grenita Lathan is not the perfect superintendent, but I will say this: she's better than the other ones we've had in the last 20 years. She's made sure that the schools that were suffering the most ended up getting the most help. This is why, and y'all want to scream that you don't like the way that you're being treated. Did you scream like that with Cerveza? When he was firing everybody named Mama? Did you scream like that with Ted Greer? When he was firing everybody named Mama? No, you wasn't doing that. Greer treated y'all like dogs. Like straight up dogs. And you know it if you've been in HISD that long. You feel what I'm saying? He was closing black schools, all that. The thing about it is, Grenita is the best person for the job right now. But the slap in the face to me was, if she would have gotten a job, people only wanted to offer her a 1-year contract. A 1-year contract. I've never seen a superintendent who wasn't black get less than a 5-year contract. But you want to justify that. What you're not going to get is a savior to come in here and fix a school district that's been messed up for over 20 years. It's not going to happen. So when I watched this happen again, 2 years and 8 months later, them do that to her again, I decided to run for the school board, because my seat in my district will be up in November. Now, I'm going to tell you why I chose to do it. Because you need some muscle in the room, man. You need somebody in that room that them people automatically ain't going to even try to play the games with. See, me, I understand the inner workings of the school system because I've mastered it. I've gone through and I've taught myself everything I needed to know about being a trustee. So Lone Star governance and all the stuff that you have to take through TEA, I don't have a problem doing that, but I already know what my job is if I end up with the job. No, what we got to do is do to them what they've been doing to us. Because a lot of people are upset that black schools have finally started to get the books that they need, to get the funding that they need, to get the decent teachers that they need. A lot of people don't like that. This is the reason you got to get rid of this black woman, so that the haves can start getting more again and the have-nots don't get anything. So I decided to run. And I decided to run for a lot of reasons. One reason is, for 4 years, I kept working in the school system, outside of the boardroom, just being an activist and an advocate. And I never stopped working, especially in District 9, where I'm from. And the thing is, there's nobody else that can even step and say they've done any work in District 9 because they haven't. I don't want to hear the lies. I don't want to. I don't give a damn about your degrees on the wall because it has been proven in the last 8 years. You could have a degree from Harvard and be a school board trustee in Houston and be dumb as a bag of rocks. Oh well, we need educators on the school board. You got 3 to 4 of them on there right now, and they trash. What you need is somebody that can make common sense decisions in the best interest of kids that will put these kids first. That's what you need. That's what you need. So, am I gonna play fair in the sandbox? Sure I am. But I ain't gonna put up with no bullshit. I ain't riding with no bullshit. Ain't nobody finna control me. Ain't no vendor finna control me. Ain't no teachers union gonna control me. You know, if you endorse me, then I'll go and vote the way that you. No, 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 no. That's the reason we in the pickle that we in now. So let's just be real about it, man. The people who screaming that they don't want Latham are the same people that don't have a problem with the state of black education in the city of Houston. You don't have a problem with it. And before she came, before Karanja came, our kids wasn't getting nothing. Nothing. Tell me I'm lying. So, you know, everybody want to act like Latham is anti-teaching. Well, I've walked these schools. I've walked these schools. Some of you teachers cannot handle a classroom with 4 or 5 kids in it. I'm sorry. I've walked the school. I walked my schools when I could walk. Some of y'all don't know how to teach. And then there are some that fall through the cracks where they just get attacked, and I defend those. You see what I'm saying? But all in all, you can't fix this by bringing somebody in here that, one, does not know the lay of the land. It doesn't work. 2, can they manage this pandemic? Because Latham has been able to manage it. You see what I'm saying? And 3, just accept the fact that the decision is racist. And that's what it is. And I'm not backing off of that claim because I know things that y'all don't know. I know that I've been sat and listened to some stuff where board members straight up said they wanted a Mexican, not Latino, a Mexican superintendent. And you think we're going to keep playing this game? See, what the city of Houston needs to do, especially Houston, you done played the Martin role with them people long enough, man. It's time to give them Malcolm, man. Man, you combustible like Jolanda Jones. No, I'm not. Let's get that straight. Jolanda was combustible in her own way. But when it comes to the school system and how it runs, knowing what's inside of these schools, you know, knowing the help that these kids need, these teachers need, Jolanda wasn't up to speed on that. I'm just telling you the real. She wasn't up to speed on it. And it wasn't because she couldn't get it. It's a lot to learn. But she did a really, really good job with the schools in her district. She made sure that those kids got what they needed. So, you know, it's things that need to be considered that a lot of people going to have to understand. And you're going to have to justify it. So when it's all said and done, if we call racism out, don't be upset because we called it out. Stop being a racist. That's how I feel about it. Stop being a damn racist. And we wouldn't have to call it out. What they did to Grenita Latham the other night was borderline insanity. It was borderline insanity. Now, you're going to go into the legislative season because, you know, all the big dogs got to go back to Austin without a permanent superintendent again. You went through the last legislative season without a permanent superintendent. So, yeah, I'm going to call out some black politicians. I ain't going to call them out by name, but y'all know who y'all is. Y'all need to raise some hell right now, man. Because what happened wasn't right the other night. You know it wasn't right. I'm just telling you the truth. You know it wasn't right. But if we sit back and allow this to happen, the way that it's going down, I tell you what, because of this pandemic, don't be surprised if your black schools get set up for closures. If you need money to operate these schools, I don't give a damn what capacity they in. You need money to operate these schools, man. And see, this is what I'm talking about when my Latino brothers, you're gonna have to eat this soup for a second. When there's an issue with you, you want us to line it up with you. You want us to stand with you. But when there's an issue with us,
you leave us hanging. And that's all it boils down to. You leave us hanging every single time. But then, you know, that wasn't. I can't divide something that wasn't together to begin with. So I'm just telling you the truth. This is not the time to play this game that they playing. But I tell you what, it's gonna be some consequences for your actions because y'all that's up for re-election. I'm running, but I'm also campaigning against people voting for you too. And remember how that went last time. Two of your little compadres ran, and they the only two elected officials to lose on election night. Everybody else went to a runoff. City elections, county elections, people went to runoffs. But the two school board members got taxed because you're not getting those black votes in your district. I'm sorry, you're failures. And kids don't fail. We fail children. Kids don't fail. We fail children. That gap in learning is because you failed to educate those children. You failed to educate those children. You started educating them differently. You started educating them differently. So I just had to come on here and do this video, say what was on my heart, and it is what it is, and understand, well, man, you wasn't rocking with Grenada for a while. No. But when I saw y'all line up against my black folk, you goddamn right, I'm going to put the Superman cape on for my people. And I'm going to rock with my people. If we going to make it racist, then let's make it racist. If we going to make it racist, then you already know I'm pro-black. But don't do something racist and then just try to hide behind it and, oh, it wasn't racist. You're a damn lie and you know it. You would have never treated a Latino superintendent the way you treated Grenada Lathan. You would have never, let me show you. You don't even want to give her nothing over a 1-year contract, but Carranza breaks his contract and you still pay him to leave. You didn't even have to pay that man, and you paid him the remainder of his contract. But you gonna tell me it's not racist? I say bullshit. And that's what it is. But as usual, we don't make decisions in the best interest of children. So it's the normal. So people want to know, am I really gonna run? Yeah, I'm gonna run. You're damn right I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run because you like shitting in black people's face, and I'm not finna put up with it no more. That's how I feel. You like shitting in black people's faces, and I am not going to put up with it anymore. That's all I got to say. It's the Hood CNN with your favorite hood reporter, the Prime Minister of Hood Education, Dr. Monroe. Because I got a PhD in common sense, and I'm a 5-star general, and you know, I got my undergrad right there at the world famous Hustlers University on the corner of Calumet and Live Oak in the heart of 3rd Ward, Texas. Yeah, I heard Charles Dupree stepping down. That don't surprise me either. You got some real live renegades on this new school board coming in. And I'm telling y'all, when you put the right people on them school boards, they got a brand new dance called a Tighten Up. So it's time to tighten up in Houston, man. You feel what I'm saying? It's time to tighten up in Houston. Y'all have a good day.